So from what I've gathered, seems like again whoever's writing those, I can't remember if we were told who's writing these logs or not. Sorry, I'm trying to remember how to build this code breaker. I can't remember if we're told who built all of these, or who wrote all of these logs and different pieces of lore and all of that stuff. But it seems like whoever was writing it, um, was alive during the ancient times when they had all this different, like, civilization and life in the world, and after whatever wiped out all of the life. We were told what that was. I can't quite remember it at this moment. There was some kind of event, or like a virus or something, that wiped out a lot of the life on this world. And again, it seems like this person, whoever's writing it, is was alive before and after the event. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like the underworld was a city also, so there was mages and all that stuff, wizards and magic people living all down there. Um, so blacksmiths. I lost the word for blacksmith for a minute. Blacksmiths, all that stuff. Scientists. I guess the effects of that city is what created the sulfurous sea, because all of the brimstone and all of the different, I guess, materials and gases and whatever from crafting stuff rose through the ceiling of the underworld and created all the different effects of the sulfurous sea. And we also did get a glimpse into the boss of the underworld, actually. That last page was all about the boss in there, which we will see later, actually. Pretty soon, actually. So we're going to definitely see that at some point. Yeah, cool stuff. But now we finally do have this code breaker thingy. We can go ahead and decrypt this. We just put that in there and grab some power cells and get this thing open. Takes a little bit of time, but not that much, really. A minute, maybe. We get even more text to read. How fun. I'll go ahead and read that when it's done. Not decrypting fast enough for me to read it. But yeah, a lot of stuff. A lot of time spent just getting all of this done. We're not even progressing, really. I mean, we got some new lore. Got a new schematic being unlocked now, but we're not really progressing at all. We've just been doing a lot of crafting. A lot of time devoted to all that. I'm going to go on and continue with the plan, though. We'll grab the shadow key. We'll go through all the different shadow chests. And we should have maybe like 45 minutes to an hour. Take care of Deerclops. If we're lucky, we can take him out before then. Deerclops, you don't know, Deerclops is a reference, kind of. It's a crossover with a different game. If you're familiar with Don't Starve, Deerclops actually is from that game. So Deerclops is not originally from Terraria. So it's like, it's kind of a boss, but it's more of an Easter egg than anything. Not sure if he qualifies as a mini boss or like a real boss technically. If I had to guess, I would say a mini boss, but I don't really know. Okay, so what do we get out of this? We get the Hydraulic Volt Crasher, Matter Modulator, Gauss Pistol, Mounted Scanner, and the Frequency Manipulator, and a lot of turrets. Now we can make a long-range sensor array. We get the materials, but we don't have those yet. Okay. I'm guessing we're just going to use a lot of these materials here for those. So that's going to be down here somewhere. The Gauss pistol. Oh, we can't even craft these yet. Oh, never mind. Because we need mithril and souls of might. And a mithril anvil. Can't even craft these yet. Hydraulic Volt Crasher. Yeah, those also require souls and mithril. Okay. Alright, well, I guess we'll see these later then. I was kind of hoping we'd be able to craft them now, but I guess not. I wonder why they do that. Feels kind of weird to unlock all of these new items and then just not be able to craft them for like, I don't know, 15, 20 hours or something like that. Kind of crazy. You know, whatever, I guess. Alright, let's go ahead and grab our shadow key. And head underground. Again, there's not that many, so I don't think we have to stay here for long. I'm just gonna go, I don't know, like 2,000 blocks in either direction. Then just do a quick scan over. I think for the most part, these chests aren't quite as important as the dungeon chests, if I remember correctly. They are cool and they have cool stuff in them, but they're just not quite as important. Like if I had to skip the dungeon chests, I think I would be hurting for a while. But if I had to skip these, I don't think I would really notice for a while, if at all, to be honest. Okay. Let's go another... I don't know. Couple screens worth of blocks, I guess. Haven't seen any other chests in a while, so... Probably, probably good to call it here, I would say. I still don't have a compass, so I can't tell exactly how many blocks I'm traveling horizontally. I can tell my depth. This thing here tells me my depth, but I can't tell my horizontal position. Compass would tell me, you know, if I'm at like spawn or something like that. It would tell me I'm at 0. And of course, as I go east or west, it would tell me like, oh, you're 500 blocks west. Or east, or you know, whatever the case may be. Alright, so chest number 1. Looks like we get a new bow. Increases pickup range for items. Okay. Not bad. Some meteorite, some restoration potions, and some other stuff that we don't really need. Hellfire arrows, titan potions, fire blossoms. Cool. The bow is probably the best thing we can get from here. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be better than the Gale Force, but this thing basically converts wooden arrows, which we don't have on us right now. They'll convert wooden arrows into flaming bats. We'll go ahead and pick some of those up later. We'll try it out. Loot magnets, more meteorite. Flower of fire. I don't think we had that before. Of course, I do want to keep these chests for cosmetic reasons. I'll go ahead and keep the meteorite. We can sell that for a good amount of cash. No, I've been throwing away everything else, but meteorite's probably going to be worth the most amount of money. Another loot magnet. Another magic weapon. We're getting a lot of stuff for our class. I didn't realize there's that much stuff. That's cool. Let's go ahead and keep going. Another Hellwing bow. Cool. Just more cash for us, basically. A lot of stuff in there. Okay, so we get another Flower of Fire, another Flame Lash. Okay. More potions, we don't need those. Silver bullets or tungsten, we don't need that. I'm definitely going to keep the gold. Sell that for a good amount. Another loot magnet and an ornate shadow key. Summons a pet shadow mimic. Another pet. Going to replace the pig man then, unfortunately. Kinda like that guy, but keep my principles strong. Switch out the pets every time we get a new one. Alright, so now I think we've made it to the other side of the spawn point. Now we're traveling... I mean, we were always traveling west, I guess, but Now we're on the western side of the world, I should say. Let's go ahead and head another 2,000 blocks, maybe. Roughly. See if we can't find any more shadow chests. Another flower of fire. More stuff we don't need. I did not mean to do that. That just messed up my entire setup there. Bad. Any more? I'm trying to remember if I saw any more on my way to the lab. I wasn't really looking that hard, but I guess there was at least this one. Demonic Hellcart. Okay. Provides immunity to lava. We already did have immunity, so more of a cosmetic thing for us than anything at this point. So guys, I just, this is random, just a random tangent, but I just remembered, I actually, I played Chapter 3 of Deltarune the other day. I won't talk about it too much, because I know the chapter is still fresh for a lot of people. So if you're watching this video, you know, the day it comes out, and you haven't played it, I won't spoil too much about it. But I quite enjoyed it. It was pretty overwhelming. And kind of a lot for me to take in. Like, my senses. But I still had fun. I thought the main character of that game, or of that chapter, I thought he was more of a secret thing, or like a not a main character, if that makes sense. Like how Spamton in Chapter 2 was like a main character. Like he wasn't really there the entire chapter. He was there like a little bit. Like not really. I thought that's how the guy in Chapter 3 was going to be. But that was not the case. I kept seeing him on TikTok and I was like, oh, it's another Spamton, like, got like, you know, just a funny guy that it's comic relief. But no, he was basically there the entire chapter. Kind of surprised me. I still enjoyed him though. Yeah, I thought it was going to be more of like Chapter 2, how you explore like an area. You have all these character moments and everything. Then you also have the comic relief sometimes. But no, it wasn't really like that. I'd say the progression of the story pretty different than Chapter 2 and Chapter 1, to be honest. Now I have not played Chapter 4 yet. I was gonna play it tonight actually, but I might have to move that later in the week. I've got to, you know, record a lot today, so I don't know if I'll want to play that later tonight, but maybe. Okay, I think that might be it for the shadow chests. Yeah, I'll go ahead and call it there. Go ahead and sell most of this stuff. I'll sell the gold. I know that's a good amount of gold, but I'll go ahead and sell it. Always find more if we need it. I'll sell the melee weapon. We don't need that. Yeah, we don't need that. All these treasure magnets, we can probably sell all but one. Two, I guess. We actually do have most of the stuff here. We have the Architect Gizmo Pack, Step Stool, and now we have the Treasure Magnet. So we can almost make this. Probably just a combination of all of these. Celestial Magnet. Increases pickup range for Mana Stars. Don't necessarily need that because we do have infinite mana, obviously. You know, it's always cool to just have stuff, just to have it. Anyways, yeah. I enjoyed Chapter 3, Deltarune. Gonna play Chapter 4 within the next few days. Not tonight or tomorrow. From what I've heard Chapter 4 is a lot more involved and a lot more serious than Chapter 3. So maybe my thoughts about, how the story progressed in Chapter 3, maybe that's going to change in Chapter 4, and it's going to be a bit more like how the rest of the game progressed. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. See what we can craft out of these. Craft a new bow later. With Essence of Sunlight and Living Fire blocks. Okay. We just need one of these then. We can sell these two. Flower of Fire. Not a material, so we'll just keep one of those. And the Flame Lash. Also not a material. Okay. Let's go ahead and sell all of these. And we'll go ahead and put the monster meat away and the chests away. And the shadow key. Okay. Shadow key is going to go in here. Monster meat's going to go with the pets. All this stuff is going to go in the jungle. The desert. Got a bow. Here. Seven. That's definitely going to be the highest damage one we have. 44. Next best thing, I guess. Oh, I didn't even really show these off. Let's show them off. We're not going to use them because I just don't think they're that good, but the Hellwing bow is going to, like I said, turn wooden arrows into flaming bats. These aren't bad, but like that's pretty much all they do. I don't know if they explode or pierce or home in or anything like that. So they're just kind of inaccurate. They don't do a whole lot. We can only use wooden arrows. We can't use anything else. So that's kind of unfortunate. And then the Flower of Fire. We did see an item like this earlier. I believe we have the Frost Flower right here. Oh no. Oh, never mind. We didn't see this earlier. I could have sworn we've seen the frost flower at some point. I guess not. Might be thinking about my other game I played however many months ago. We have the Flame Lash, which kind of acts like a magic missile instead of like a magical bolt, just a fireball. Again, like I said with the magic missile, um, that style of weapon is just not my preference, so I just don't really like using it that much. We'll just go ahead and put all of those away. Add them to the collection and whatnot. And okay, let's go ahead and start preparing for deer clops. I'm trying to think if we want to change our accessories out or anything. I do like this healing that we get from the honeydew. Fungal clump, I suppose we could change for the rusty medallion or the stress pills. Either one would work for that. And the obsidian shield, I'm honestly not going to take off, so Shield of Cthulhu is going to have to replace the Harpy Ring, if anything. But again, I kind of do want the Harpy Ring. So, I don't know if I want to do that. For this one, I think this build is fine right here. If we switch out anything, it's going to be the Granite Core, either for the shield or the Harpy Ring. We'll just leave that as is. And yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and build the item to summon him. We can. We have to use one of these in a snow biome. But he also spawns naturally at midnight during a blizzard. Okay. Good to know. I do think we have all of these, so we can just go ahead and craft it. We might not have Flink's fur, but we can get that pretty easily. Oh no, we do have it. Fine. The lens, and I think it was rotten flesh, right? Already forgot. A demonite. Do I have demonite ore? I have demonite bars, but no ore. Okay. I think we could just fight the eye to get that, right? Hello, old friend. You ain't all that hot. Not gonna be doing that much to me now. Different time. We've improved. We've gotten better. Gotten stronger. Nothing but fodder to me at this point. Thank you. Yeah, there it is. Cool. Sell all of this. This more. Keep the lens. We have to go build this at a demon altar. Alright, there it is. It's called the deer thing. And I do believe that is a reference to Don't Starve. I've only played maybe 2 hours of Don't Starve in my life, so I really don't know if this is a thing in Don't Starve, if this item in particular is a thing. I know Deerclops is in Don't Starve, but I don't know if that deer thing. I don't know if that's in Don't Starve.